Hi there, welcome back to Sunnyside Journals. I'm doing another installment. I'm working on I'm working on this book again. As I've mentioned, and I'm going to keep mentioning in case somebody new lands here, there's no rhyme or reason for my videos at this time of season because I actually am working on them all at once and pre-recording and uploading, and hopefully it gives you a variety of things to look at for the books that I've chosen to work on for this season of the year. So I've worked a little further since the last time we got together on this beauty. I'm so excited about this book, and I really have my fingers crossed. But until it's all done, I don't know. You know what? I want to show you. Oh, rats. I'm recording with this phone, and I wanted to show you with this phone the picture of what I'm hoping to do with this spine. But I think you get the idea. The last time we got together, we did the jute, 3 pieces of jute. I think one of them I realized after I turned my camera off, I had only put 2 down, and I corrected it. So they're now all equal. And then I've just used cotton back here, glued it in, good old Mod Podge, and the center line, helps me make sure it's centered. And so today is the nerve-wracking day because I'm going to cover this spine with cloth. And I have yet to find anyone who shows me how to do these knobby kind of band covers and just have it be the spine. I've seen some people, they've had these knobbly kind of band covers, but they cover the whole book with fabric, and that changes everything. And you're going to see why as I get into it. Because the fabric, when the Mod Podge goes on it, we'll be using it again, it allows the fabric to sort of stretch and move and hug and curl and cuddle these bands. But by doing that, it alters, think about it, the displacement alters your edge over here. And I want a nice smooth edge along here. And I haven't found anyone on YouTube who has offered up this information, at least for free. I've seen some that have done like sort of a flat band. They've just used kind of like cardstock, and I can see how that would be a little bit simpler, not quite as much displacement to go around these little knobbies. Anyhow, so this is going to be, for me, you won't notice, but I'm going to be doing a lot of stop and start because I need my, I'm thinking ahead. I need this because I anticipate that I'm going to need to glue down a section, let it thoroughly dry, glue down another section, let it thoroughly dry. I can't do this all in one motion because I anticipate from the other times that I've done this, and it's not that many, if it's all wet, when I start pinching to accentuate these bands, it will try and start pulling. So that's why I anticipate that I'm going to, this is my important side. This is the one that I really want the nice finish. This one, I think I have a little bit more leeway. The back, it's not the presentation side, as we call it. So now my goal still is to have both to be pristine. I do have a fallback, and I may still do it even not as a fallback. I want a nice smooth edge there. So put your imagination caps on. Where's my rock? There's a rock. Yeah, let's put one here. There. if I can't manage to get that to stay straight, I do have some trim that I might want to put on it. And I'm torn. I rather like this green and gold. And there's going to be gold gilding wax on the bands. Or else I've got this really old gold ribbon here that I also love. And I really like that. But on the other hand, if I can get this perfectly straight, I'd actually really like it just to be. So I've got a few things I need to do. I want to bring this out a bit more. I don't know if you can see, I gave myself a pencil line to follow, and I actually want a bit more room. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more room, about 1/8 of an inch. I'm just eyeballing it. I brought this one out a bit more already, and I like, because it's got to be able to hold this cover securely. Let me stand up and take a look. See, there. Yep, I like that better. Now what I want to do is I cut this. This fabric has just been painted with just craft paint, cheap craft paint. I get it either Michael's if it's on sale, Walmart, you name it. But because I've cut it to size, there is a white raw edge there that drives me out of my mind. So I'm using permanent ink, and I am just putting a little bit of ink along there in case I do manage to do it right and I'm happy with just the fabric, which is my goal. And you know me, I could change my mind as well, and I could get it on and it could be perfectly straight and I'm thrilled, but I may still decide that I want to put some trim on it. I don't know yet. I know I don't want to put corners on it. Some of you might be thinking, oh, are you going to match up the spine with corners? And no, that's not my goal. Mostly because, hold on here. I love this little guy peeking out here. And I feel like corners would detract from how cute that little fella is. So there we go. Now I'm happier. Those edges are now dark brown, so that's good. So my goal is today, here's my plan, is I've got my line to follow here. I'm going to, hold on, I want to give myself a line up here. This part just needs to be approximately centered because it's going to get curled around. So, but it still gives me something to aim for when I'm working on this. So here's my plan. I'm going to glue it first to the cover. Then I'm going to glue it into that ditch in there, the hinge. Then comes the terrifying part for me. The last time I did this with the camera rolling, there was a lot of shrieking and gasping and breath holding, and I pretty well made a fool of myself, but I was happy at the end because it worked. So let's see. Let's hope we have good luck again this time. So Mod Podge, paintbrush. I want a sandwich bag because I'm going to be using my paintbrush a lot. Here we go. And I want to be able to keep it wet while I wait for this to dry. I'm not going to use a blow dryer. That's why this is going to take me a while today. and I can work over on my other desk. Again, you won't know. I'm just talking out loud to myself. All right, let's start. Let's try this. Now, this has already been sealed with Mod Podge, but I don't want to get any more on it. So I'm going to try my best not to go out beyond my line that I gave myself. Try being the key word here. I don't want to have to seal it again. Sometimes I find if you do too many layers of liquid Mod Podge, it can get flaky and cloudy. So I don't want to do that. I'm trying not to have too much along that edge because I'm going to be pressing down and I don't want it to squish out. So this, where it's thick here, I'm going to go in and pull it away a bit. But because it's thin, I'm going to need to work a bit quickly. We can do it. We can do it. I love this sort of a challenge. All right. And then I went and moved it. Well, let's work on it this way here. Oh, well, we're going to eyeball it, right? We do that. We're artists. There's my line. Where's my other line? There's my other line. I'm not pulling too taut. Sometimes you're tempted to, oh, let's pull this tight. And then as it's trying to dry, it'll distort. So we're not going to do that today. All right, I'm going to pause because I want to be able to leave myself as much of my 30 minutes as my phone will allow me. So, hold on. Okay, we're back. Now we're going to do that gutter down there. This is all adhered. I'm happy with it. So I'm going to be putting some Mod Podge down in this gutter and along the edges as well. What I mean by edges is this board is about 1/8 of an inch thick. So I'm making sure that that little 1/8 of an inch wall gets Mod Podged. And while I've got you, if you know of anyone or you yourself has done what I'm attempting to do here before, and they've got it up on YouTube for free, I have a feeling there are people that have courses that you can pay for, which I'm all for. I do sometimes enjoy the challenge of trying to figure something out. Do you know what I mean? So, but if someone has offered up their information on YouTube, I would be happy to go take a look, see how they do it, and see if I can make my life a little easier than this. I have a feeling there must be a better way. But I can honestly see how this would work if you're doing one giant sheet of fabric to cover the entire book cover. That makes sense to me. But to just do a spine and have it work out nice and tidy. Now, I need pokey tool. Where is a pokey tool? Oh, here, I'll use this. I'll use a popsicle stick. I've got to get it down into that. And because of the bands, I do not think my my bone folder will not fit in there. The bands get in the way. If the bands weren't there, if those ridges, these guys weren't there, I could easily fit my bone folder into this. It's pretty well the perfect width. This might work too. This is quite nice and thick. One of these Tim Holtz 0 center rulers. So let's see if we can get that in there. I want it well adhered to the inside, you know, this wall edge of the cover. Now, I'm actually, you know what, I'm tempted to just leave that in there. Because then the next part is the tricky part. All right, I'm going to pause again. Let's see, are you covered? You are. All right, I'm going to go find something else to do for a couple minutes. Okay, so the gutter there, nicely dried. I did find I had to lift it because it was taking a long time to dry under there because it was trying, you can see here, it was trying to adhere itself to the parchment paper. So I lifted it and let the air get under there. So it's nice and dry now. Now this next part is the section that I anticipate is going to be tense for me at least. Now, if you're watching this, if I have actually uploaded this and you're watching it right now, it means I was successful. So there's that. I don't mean to give away the ending yet because I obviously don't know. But if this is up, that makes me feel better. All right, I'm trying to decide whether I should just put this right on here because I'm going to have to work quickly. And part of me thinks I need to just drizzle my Mod Podge on there, use a larger brush to get the spreading done faster so that I can start working with this because I'm going to have to be doing a lot of pinching and holding. In anticipation for that, I do have a pack of wet wipes ready to grab in case my fingers start sticking to themselves. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Okay. Ah. All right, so we're just going to get in there. It's got to be on all the, so I wish I hadn't done that because it's gone down into that gutter. Okay, well, live and learn. Let's hope that this still means good things. If you're still watching and hearing me saying, oh, rats, I don't like that. So, we'll see. Oh, it's the fun. Oh, I don't believe you. Dismiss. Let's put some here. Shh, there. Come on, Catherine. You don't have all the time in the world here. Got to make sure that the jute is well coated because it tends to want to slurp it up, and I want the fabric to stick to it. And of course the fabric has paint on one side of it. So, all right, let's see how we do. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to give it a go. All right, so we're going to sort of walk it over and start pinching and pushing and getting it to like its new shape. And sometimes, I forgot, sometimes that means putting some on this side. Forgot. No, it's all. I should have rewatched Ren. Oh well. Live and learn. Next time I'll know. Rewatch my video of when I did Ren. Okay. Well, let's hope that we worked in time. Because, yeah, the Mod Podge. I'm going to start from the center and work out the... There we go. Okay. I don't mind if it's a little wrinkly because I want this to look like an old book, right? So if it's kind of gnarly looking, bring it on. Sorry if I'm not talking. Concentrating. This is nerve-wracking, but fun. I hope I'm in screen. Now, if I remember correctly from the other times I've done this, you actually sort of have to get the fabric to start remembering what you want it to do. Now I'm looking for something thick to push down with. My eyes are searching my desk while I'm doing this. Put that down in there. And really start pushing on those. I wonder if putting you down into the gutter. I just don't want it to pull up from the other gutter, and it is. Okay, so maybe I leave you in there, and I work with you on this side. That's better. Okay. And then keep pinching and pushing, and reminding it that you want it to do this. See, I think it needs more underneath there, so I'm going to have to lift it. Okay, so Catherine, mental note. Gobs of Mod Podge. Normally, if there were no bands, I would work from the center out. But the bands present their own challenge. Come on. Now, I may have to, I'm running out of time here. I may have to pause for a second. Yeah, okay, I'm going to pause, and hopefully I'll be back. Okay, we're doing good. Because, of course, it was paused, you have no idea, but I think I've been paused now for about half an hour. And partially it's because I've been pushing on it and reminding this fabric, you want to stay down. It's, if any of you have ever tried to put a toddler to bed the first night in their big bed, not in their crib, and you know, no, here we go, back to bed. You want, lay your head down, lie down. And I did anticipate that this time from when I did the other books. It's, you almost have to create a memory for the fabric and go, oh yeah, I do like to lay down. And then I also had to take a second my hubby gashed the top of his hand, and I had to go deal with that. So I was dealing with his wounds there, and then I'm thinking, uh-oh, I wonder what's going on upstairs. And I came upstairs, and I was very, very, let me move this. I'm very pleased with how it looks. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Fortunately, when I went to deal with wounds, I had jammed that ruler in there, and I had jammed that ruler in there, and I think that helped. And then I have found that these are a wonderful help. Just wooden popsicles for just gently sort of rocking back and forth and sort of saying, remember, lie down. Lie down, darling. And it's slowly going, oh, yeah, maybe I do want to lie down. So now this is really, really very, very damp. And I have a feeling it's going to need quite a while to thoroughly dry. And so here's what I was telling you about that I was worried about for this side. See how, because this was wet, it has stretched to accommodate fitting over and around these ridges, these bands. And here's where I anticipate that this is not going to be happy about laying down flat. And if I can get it to lay down flat, see how the displacement has now created an uneven edge there. So, but I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that until this is thoroughly dry, and I think I'm at 26 minutes, so that's just not going to happen in this episode. But I'm very happy with it. I'm very pleased. There it is. There's my bands. I will be putting, I don't want to put it into any wet Mod Podge. I will be putting some kind of rough looking gilding wax on it. This will be curving over this under, and then maybe some stenciling. Not sure yet. I might have to sort of hold it in my arms and pat it for a while and wait for it to tell me what it wants. But in the meantime, I'll do my best to do an episode. I'm hoping that maybe by soaking this fabric with the Mod Podge ahead of time, giving it a chance to sort of, soak it up, that it will actually let me nicely pat it down. And I'll do my best on it, and that's where it's nice to have the fallback, so that if I do opt to, I could put some kind of a trim there. I've also got this. It's sort of a bit of a gold that might also look pretty along there. This one's a little bulky, so I'm not sure. I'm not sold on that one. And I've loved this one for a long time. But it seems like I can only really use it at Christmas time because it's got a little bit of shimmer, and I really do think it's quite old. It's quite worn out looking. Pardon me. And I feel like that's a little bit more subtle, and that little bit of gold I'm hoping will look nice when I put some gold on here. I like that. And that way, if this is a little wrinkly on the back side, this will be a bit of camouflage. We'll see. We might be able to get that to lay down a little nicer. We'll see. So, thanks for joining me today. And, I turned that lamp on. Sorry. While I was working on it, while the camera was paused, I turned the lamp on so I could see better where it was trying to pop up. See, it's still there's still a few little areas that are sort of going, can I get up? No, you can't get up. Lie down. You know what? I gotta tell you, it's fun. I really, really am enjoying this, and I hope I can work it out. Wish me luck. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.